Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Force here with some more StarCraft 2 commentary. Today we will be looking at a game between ST Bomber and Liquid HerO. This is going to be a Terran versus Protoss, a Bomber versus HerO, here on the map Cloud Kingdom. And we will start off, as always, with a little bit of recent tournament information. Let's begin with our blue Protoss player, Liquid HerO, spawning in the upper right-hand spawn position. HerO took third place at the IPL Tournament of Champions, which was actually just about a week ago, on April 3rd of 2012. Also took second place at the NASL Season number 2, and this was in December of 2011. His opponent down over here in the lower left-hand spawn position, our red Terran player, ST Bomber. Bomber took second place at the IPL 4 Online Qualifier number 2 in February of 2012. Also took third place at the MLG Korean Invitational in October of 2011. And with that recent tournament information out of the way, let's hop right into the game. HerO places down his first pylon, moves out with the Probe Scout. Now in scouting so early, what is going to happen here is not only will he get that information, that scouting information, but he'll also be able to do a little bit of harass. A lot of times you'll see probes harassing SCVs as they attempt to build to the early racks. So it's definitely a possibility. He actually is going to bypass that and move on in. Now, do keep in mind he is checking for refinery timing when and if those do get dropped down. And actually, HerO doing a bit of income harass early on. It's important to keep in mind that at any given time, only 2 workers can be mining directly from an individual patch. So by doing this, HerO is effectively disrupting Bomber's early game economy by preventing 2 workers from mining from that specific patch. So it's a neat little trick. It's not a huge advantage, but it is a slight advantage early on. And if you can do it, well, you can set your opponent behind, even if it is just slightly. Rax is now finishing. We do have no refinery in place, so we are expecting that 1 Rax in to expand here from Bomber. Starting off with that first Marine and that orbital command, we should be seeing that command center at the natural expansion, either built directly here or built up in the main. On this particular map, though, I think he could probably get away from building with building it right down over here. And it looks like he's just about to do that. Saving up to those 400 minerals, drops the command center. And speaking of early expansions, as you can see over here, HerO is about halfway finished his first Nexus, and that gateway did come after that, so HerO has decided to go Nexus first. It's pretty obvious that he was informed by his early game scouting as to whether or not he could do that. He spotted the lack of refinery, and that told him, alright, I can really safely go Nexus first here, so this shouldn't be much of an issue at all. And actually, oh boy, right bypassing that Marine in the center of the map, HerO is going to be able to get secondary scouting. That may not seem like a big deal, and I may have kind of freaked out about it a little more than necessary, but this is something that Bomber definitely wanted to try to deny, and it's really good for HerO to get the secondary scouting. Now notice there is no additional double racks, there's no refineries right now, and look at all those minerals that he's pooling. This should really tip HerO off that something funky is going on, and I think we might be seeing a 3rd command center. It's certainly a popular tactic there. Marine did actually move out for some early game aggression. Looks like it got a couple shots off, but didn't really do much more than that. Probe continued to dance around. Has he scouted that yet? No, he has not. However, like I said, he does notice that there were no double refineries and there were no 2 additional racks. Normally at that timing there would be, and there wasn't because of the fact that Bomber was saving up his resources to get this command center. So even though he didn't physically see that with his own 2 eyes, I think he expects it. I think he does expect that additional command center there, and I think he will kind of plan accordingly. And it looks like he's gonna, ooh, where's he going with that? He might be scouting out these additional expansions. Yeah, he is, look at that. We'll be scouting out this expansion just to see where those resources went. He's not sure if that was built in the main, wants to see if there's possibly a hidden expansion. That's exactly what he's looking for up there in the upper left-hand corner of the map. Now normally when you go 1 Rax expand, you do actually have to come out with a bunker to prevent yourself from taking too much damage from early game stalker pressure. That is coming now. It would normally have come earlier, but again, given the fact that HerO himself did go for a quick expansion, that really did delay those early stalkers by HerO, so Bomber was all set to delay that bunker as a result. Now what's happening here with this extra command center? Well, this is going to be used by Bomber to help saturate that main in the natural with SCVs a little bit faster. Also, of course, that orbital command will allow him to mule down and get a much stronger economy early on as well. Stalker just sitting idly down over here, wants to see if the expansion gets dropped at any point. Just will be sitting here for a moment. This will also let him see if units of Bomber try to circumvent that tower that HerO has currently and push down in this direction. And the Stalkers can be very effective early on against just Marines. However, with this bunker up, especially with a second bunker coming through, really nothing that HerO is going to be able to do. Doesn't really stand a chance there. Out of the bunker, the Marines have a little bit of a harder time against the Stalkers. The Stalkers do have that range advantage as well as that speed advantage. You're going to be able to see them micro around and pick off some of these Marines. Nice micro from Bomber, though, pulling back the injured Marines, and he might as well just go all the way back home now. Pop himself right in those bunkers. Why not? Take a look at what's going on over here for HerO. HerO does have a Twilight Council coming out. Nice scan there. I'm pretty sure he is going to spot those up there. Yes, he does. He spots the Twilight Council as well as the Researching Forge. Level 1 armor upgrades coming out here. Another gateway gets dropped down. 2 more gateways and a Twilight Council. Very early Twilight Council. With this, we will expect Charge Zealot and Archon. Throwing some High Templar in there once he does get that Psionic Storm researched as well. Bomber decides to salvage his second bunker, realizing there's not early pressure coming from HerO. Not like a level 1 weapon push or anything crazy like that, 6-7 gate, whatever. Nothing like that's happening. HerO is continuing to tech up here. Take another look at his vision. Yeah, he hasn't seen... He did see that coming in, although it's not visually there on his map because it was still warping in when he viewed it. But I definitely know that he did spot that Twilight Council. There's no question about that. Stalkers continuing to be a nuisance, and finally here we are going to see Bomber start to work his way into some Marauders, also preparing to get some medevacs. He's got the reactor coming down right here on the factory, also coming out with that starport, so we'll be seeing that hot swap once the time does eventually come. And going really quickly there with that Psionic Storm research. A lot of times you won't see it this early. A lot of times it'll just be Charge Zealots and Archon in the kind of early middle stage of the game when you go for a Templar Archives this early on. But no, HerO wants to get that Psionic Storm research nice and early here, so he will be getting and sitting just solely with some High Templars, not necessarily turning them all into Archons. Now with a large force, Bomber is feeling confident to push out. Doesn't have Concussive Shell yet. That's actually not even researching right now. Does have the Weapons Level 1 upgrade coming out there for his bio. Continuing to turn out those Marines, Marauders, and Medevacs, and we expect to pretty much exclusively see that for a while with an eventual transition into Ghost and Vikings. I mean, that's pretty standard unit composition there, and that's what we're going to expect from Bomber. HerO actually getting ready to drop a third base over here. Charge upgrade coming out for those Zealots. A few High Templar in place, starting to accumulate some energy. Again, they already do have that Psionic Storm research. Factory Scout moving out for Bomber, does not need that factory. And now that he has saturated that main and the natural expansion, he is actually going to move into a third now with that Orbital Command. And we'll be working to saturate that as well. HerO moving out right now. He does not have that charge upgrade though at the moment, and this is not going to be the best time for him to engage. Without charge, it is a bit problematic dealing with Stim Bio there. He does, however, have that Psionic Storm, and I'm not sure if that is something that Bomber is actually even aware of, so we'll have to see how this ends up going. Factory Scout moving out, charge upgrade very close to finished. Bio continuing to stream across the map, actually rally to that tower there. There's the Stim. Force field goes down, and there's the Storm. Now Bomber knows about it. At least he is well aware of the fact the Storm is out. Dropping a Ghost Academy now, and with that Ghost Academy, he will, of course, come out with Ghost. And he's going to need that to not only snipe, but also EMP these High Templar. Try to get rid of their energy and stop those Storms from doing massive damage to his bio, to be honest. Now, a big thing that Bomber wants to do right now, though, if he's going to engage us, is just make sure he's spread out while he does not have those Ghosts. A couple of force fields get laid down, but with a little bit of wiggle room, he's able to squeeze his bio through that. High Templar do need to be careful about getting sniped. Gonna continue to spread out his forces there. Storm gets laid down. He's trying to pull back. He's taking some pretty hefty damage to those Storms, though. Splitting his forces. HerO, however, starting to get worked down, and bio reinforcements going to sandwich the Stalkers from the backside. Two of those High Templar get turned into an Archon. That is some pretty massive splash damage. And as long as Bomber spreads out, though, he'll be okay. Takes out the rest of the forces. Only a few Stalkers remain. I'll take a quick look there. Just want to make sure no other actions going on at the moment. Yeah, no drops or anything like that. All right, so take a quick look at the resources lost. They're about even. Bomber, actually, never mind, is a little bit over 1,000 resources behind there. So overall, that worked well for HerO. Taking a quick look at the army size, they're even at the moment, relatively speaking. Level 2 weapon upgrade coming out right now for HerO. HerO also getting another forge so he can simultaneously get those armor upgrades, maybe even consider some shield upgrades as well. HerO will be moving out with his forces right now. He did scout this expansion. I wonder if he's going to choose to try to hit this at the moment. Yeah, just grabbing the tower for the time being. Bio push from Bomber coming up on this expansion. Should be forcing to cancel a few of those. Feedbacks go down there on the Medivacs, stopping them from being able to heal up so much. Also doing a bit of damage. Charge Zealots continuing to pursue the Bio here, and Bomber is going to be forced to lift off, and he's now dropping in the main. This could be really annoying here for HerO. He's now got Bio sitting in his main. He's going to wreak some havoc over here. Big Storm lays down some massive damage there. Warping in a few Zealots, a couple Stalkers, and that will force Bomber back. He's going to lose it. Loses both the Medivacs units in a couple of those. That did not go too well there for Bomber. Bomber is still behind about 1,000 resources from HerO. HerO is starting to mobilize with his forces here. Charge Zealots, sentries, and a few High Templar, a couple Stalkers back there as well. Charge Zealots, so resilient. Look at them just force back. Oh, force field, beautiful force field. Bomber lifts up though, and is able to get a few of those units back into safety. That was a beautiful force field though by HerO. We have a pylon over here warping in a ton of units a little bit closer to the battlefront. And we're going to see a push right now as HerO tries to move into the third of Bomber, and we'll be attempting to do some damage. We do finally have some Ghost in play, so we should be seeing some EMP action. Possibly even some snipes against any High Templar that may come into play. HerO now moving into a fourth base as well, taking this kind of centralized location. Also come down with a few cannons, some static defenses there to assist against small little drops or small little bio pushes. And here we go, HerO now moving up into the expansion. Let's see what he can do here. Forces a ton of SCVs off the line. We got the Ghost pulling forward. Nice Storm. I did hear a snipe. Not sure if he got a High Templar. That nice, very nice secondary Storm. That is not a good position there for Bomber. Does not want to clump up there. Just continuous poking and prodding here from HerO. We are seeing some continuous snipes though there from Bomber, and an EMP gets laid down as well. Zealots get trapped there by all those SCVs, and that's going to be enough now to force HerO back. HerO does have a lot of reinforcements, so here we go, more Storms. 2 Storms get laid down, turning into an Archon immediately, forcing all that bio back. Charge Zealots continuing to pursue here, and Bomber just dealing with this relentless aggression here from HerO. I don't know how much longer he can keep this up though. Yeah, he's going to be forced back right now. Let's take a look. Resources lost. Still, Bomber is just about 1,000 behind. Bomber will be moving into a fourth base himself, as he will be taking this expansion. It looks like he will be using a planetary in that position as well, as it's a little bit of a more vulnerable spot. Coming out with that planetary is going to be necessary. Kind of like we're seeing the cannons down here for HerO. Well, we're not going to obviously have cannons for Bomber, and so for him, he of course needs to do that planetary as a little bit of stationary ground defense. Really surprised we haven't seen any drops here from Bomber. I'm actually a little perplexed that we haven't seen that at all. Even just one medevac filled up would be nice. Try to do a bit of econ damage over here, for example. Bio gonna take the tower control away from HerO here. HerO's got a bit of forces over this position, and I'm not sure that he's quite matched for this. We're gonna see a Storm come down, help even up the numbers a bit. Scanning the high ground, Bomber realizes, yeah, he's got no problem engaging that. He will continue to pursue. Got some stimmed up out from this direction. HerO's going to be forced all the way back. He can't handle this at the moment. Just a bit too strong of a force for him to deal with right now. High Templar coming to try to save the day. There's a Storm, massive Storm. HerO, ooh, takes a little bit longer than he may have liked to move out of that. Took some hefty damage there. Luckily, he's got about a bajillion medevacs, though. 11 to be exact, and that's going to heal up these forces quite quickly. Ghost leading the way. Bomber moving forward here, preparing to push onto this expansion. Gets a couple snipes down, takes out those High Templar. That's going to help him a bit here in this engagement. We do still have a High Templar right back there, though. Got some forces moving in this direction. They're going to get met by Bio in the center of the map. Storm goes down on the Bio over here, continuing to try to push through. There's no more energy left on that High Templar. Back over here, HerO was able to take out what Bomber engaged him with, but Bomber does have a large force over here. Transition into Colossus. It's going to force some Vikings to come out here for Bomber. Splitting up his forces, trying to do some damage down here and also push over in this direction. Looks like he's going to get taken care of over here. Forced to lift off in that position. Continuing to engage. And we'll be dropping the expansion. HerO loses his natural expansion. Able to force a liftoff of the units in the main. Marauders getting dropped down again to do some damage. Bomber lifts up with a few of his forces in those medevacs. That finally gets taken care of. But decent push there from Bombers. Able to drop an expansion and do a little bit of damage over here in the main as well. Liquid HerO is now behind Bomber. Again, we are seeing this transition here into Colossus. I want to take a quick look. We only have one Viking in play. There's 4 coming through, though. He's definitely going to need those Vikings. More Colossus production. Lone medevac sitting over here. Now, we're going to actually see Bomber move out to another expansion. He's attempting to go over here. We do have this pylon, though. Let's see if HerO warps in a couple zealots to deal with these. Is he going to do it? Nope. Decides just to take the pylon loss, I guess. Not even going to bother. HerO mobilizing his forces over in this position. We've got all of Bomber's bio and Vikings, plus some Ghost over there. Uh-oh. Vikings moving forward, going straight for that Colossus. Charge Zealots swooping up over there. Archon's trying to force back those Vikings. Doesn't really matter though, because the Colossus already got taken out. Feedback goes down on one of the Ghosts, drops that quickly. HerO is continuously being forced back here. Bomber being very aggressive now. It's actually going to be pushing on to this expansion. Nice storm goes down. Another nice storm. Doing a bit of damage. EMP hits the Stalkers over here. We have that High Templar. Not going to be able to do much at the moment, but Charge Zealots swooping on up. Plus a Colossus will be forcing a Bomber back at the moment. I'm concerned for HerO though, because he's been so defensive lately. Hasn't really moved out. Now they are even in terms of resources lost. Taking a look at the number of workers killed, they're about even as well. Income wise, they're about even. Would really like to see HerO drop a base though. That'd be beautiful, huh? You can see HerO has replaced his Nexus over here and will continue to mine from that, even though he's pretty low on resources. Wants to make sure he can get the rest of that out. Now I'm concerned about Bomber's expansion over here, as HerO is starting to move towards it, and Bomber's bio is out of position, but actually it looks like HerO has decided not to fully engage. He's pulling back with his units over there. We'll be seeing a sensor tower come down here for Bomber. It's going to help him really tremendously in this position. It's going to allow him to see any pushes from basically almost all the way over here, reaching close to the center of the map. That's a really nice position, to be perfectly honest with you, for a sensor tower. 4th base coming out over, that's the 5th, actually. 5th base coming out here for HerO. About to see another engagement in the middle. Storm goes down to try to keep these units at bay. HerO once again will be forced back to try to defend this expansion. Bomber will be continuing to move forward here. Grabs the tower. He's got quite a large force. They're about even in terms of army supply at the moment. And HerO will be actually sitting back in this position now. We had the Ghost move forward first, and here we go. Oh, the Colossus gets dropped immediately. Charge Zealots moving forward. Storms go down. Another nice storm from the backside. That was beautiful, and another storm. Now Bomber was split up a little bit, but those storms there were tremendous for HerO. Able to mop up the rest of these forces. And Bomber now moving back here with what he has left. That was unbelievable. I really thought the Bomber was about to nail this Nexus and take it down very quickly. However, some High Templar from the backside, completely avoiding the Ghost, laid down some beautiful storms on the bio of Bomber. That was absolutely beautiful there. Good job by HerO. Again, I was very concerned that he was about to lose this Nexus, so that was some excellent defense. HerO now moving up with his forces. And again, it's a continuous dance back and forth between both of these players, although it has seemed like Bomber has been more of the aggressor. And like I stated prior, we like to see HerO try to make some sort of committed push onto one of these expansions. Of course, he has to be careful though. If you commit too much and you get caught out of position, you get pinned, then that can make for Bomber to do some significant damage. So HerO sitting here in the center of the map with his forces. Bomber prepared to engage. Firstly with the Vikings, trying to take down that Colossus. Of course, we want to see some EMPs from those Ghosts. See a snipe right there. And again, but just by laying down a blanket storm, HerO is able to keep a lot of that bio at bay. Do have a couple of Zealots sitting over there. HerO splitting up his forces, which is very wise against those EMPs. So he's got a large bulk of his force over there. Another High Templar moves down. That gets sniped. EMP. Pushing forward right now. Another EMP takes out the Viking. Takes out the Colossus with the Vikings. What's he going to do? Is he going to push on this expansion? Again, just a continuous dance back and forth here. No one's quite confident yet to fully commit. Bomber lays down the scan just to get an idea of what he's up against. Uses that to get some snipes. Storm doing a little bit of damage, really not much though, and HerO looks to be losing this expansion. He's going to be pulling from behind though with his forces. High Templar and Charged Zealots. Might be able to defend the expansion here. Archon also moving forward, trying to get some splash damage down. Some more storms. Another storm, forcing Bomber to split up his forces. We do have a push coming over in that direction. We'll be hitting that expansion. However, out of energy right now, unable to start. He's got one storm left, drops the storm, does a little bit of damage. We do have a push from over here though. HerO losing his pylon, cannot warp in. He will be losing that Nexus. Nothing he can do about that. Vikings landing down to do some damage. This Nexus is a goner. HerO able to defend over here, but again, as we saw, has lost this Nexus. I want to take a quick look at the income. Bomber will be ahead at the moment. HerO behind in terms of resource loss. Now, he's trying to push on down to take this out. Let's see what he can do here. We got 2 medevacs full. Blink Stalkers. Maybe a feedback? Doesn't need to. Takes it out with the Blink Stalkers. Storm takes out that bio. HerO continuing to push here. Oh man, this game is so back and forth. Absolutely fantastic. Really, really unfortunate though that HerO lost that. And income-wise, Bomber is going to have a bit of a lead right now. So HerO does really need to do some damage. Pushing now onto this expansion. He's going to grab that before it even gets close to being a full planetary. We're going to see a mass repair though. And Bomber's forces move down. Yeah, that's going to force him back. Too many ghosts there. He would get smacked with EMPs and snipes, especially since he's got so many Zealots in the mix. Blink Stalkers preventing the Vikings from taking out that Colossus. HerO getting the Nexus over there in the upper left-hand position again. Alright, we're going to see some more forces move down over here for HerO. Another scan goes down there by Bomber, allowing him to spot what he's up against, move forward, get some snipes, get some EMPs down. Oh no, losing the Colossus here. Bomber continues to push. Reinforcements back over here. Don't know if he's got enough for a storm in any of those. No, he does not. Loses that High Templar due to a snipe. Another scan. Checks the forces here. Bomber feeling confident to push. Gets another snipe. Feedbacks. But still, wasn't able to get off any storms there. He's going to lose this base. Bomber snipes the Nexus. Still have 2 idle Zealots over there. I do not know what they're doing. HerO now losing that as well. Is very, very far behind right now in terms of resources being gathered. We'll be transferring on over all of the probes that we're mining from that expansion up here to the upper left. Bomber now moving out towards the center of the map. Is he going to make a push now on the natural expansion? Try to walk his way up into the main, start sniping out the tech. It's a possibility. Yeah, HerO is at a tremendous disadvantage right now. 32 army supply as opposed to 118. And I'm pretty sure Bomber, knowing this, is just going to confidently move forward now and just start to mop things up. Really unbelievable back and forth. Liquid HerO has just called the GG. Quite unfortunate situation there. Again, we saw Bomber was able to snipe these expansions a few times, and unfortunately that is something that HerO was really unable to do. He attempted an expansion snipe over here, however that did not go so well, and we never really saw a committed push over into this position or into this position from HerO. It did feel like most of the time Bomber was the aggressor, and HerO was forced to defend, and as a result unable to push out himself. Nevertheless though, it was a great game between these two players. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Thank you guys so much for watching this game here between ST Bomber and Liquid HerO. Hopefully you did enjoy it. Quite an interesting back and forth between these two players, and it was a lot of fun to commentate. Hopefully it was fun to watch. Thank you guys so much for watching. Once again, if you like the content, please subscribe, keep watching, and keep owning.